The MushroomPro mobile processing unit we believe is the next revolution in mushroom harvesting. One of the greatest costs in the mushroom industry today is labour. In the UK, the minimum wage is £6.19, but the agricultural wage applies in certain circumstances, but that is due to stop in October 2013. Therefore, we'll base our figures on the minimum wage. There are a lot of hidden costs in wages. The actual costs may be actually a lot higher. From our minimum wage, we can work out that the employer national insurance costs are 40 pence per hour. We have to pay sick pay, and we've worked that out at 14 pence an hour for every hour worked. Holiday pay, allowing the 28 statutory days, creates a cost of 74 pence an hour. We also have statutory maternity pay and paternity pay. There are inherent training costs and equipment costs of approximately 11 pence. Your liability insurance is also linked to the number of employees, and we have taken that at approximately 40 pence per hour. That means that the actual minimum wage actually costs £7.98 per hour. That is excluding statutory maternity pay and paternity pay, and training costs and overtime costs. With mushroom pickers, an average picker will produce around 25 kilos per hour, that is 55 pounds. That equals 1 tonne per week, though a good picker may actually pick as many as 29 kilos per hour. In order to get the minimum wage, there is a cost per kilo of 32 pence gross. If, however, we use the MushroomPro, we would expect a picker to double their pick rate within a day and quadruple their pick rate within a few weeks after training. If we assume, using a MushroomPro, a picker picks 75 kilos an hour, picking, trimming, sorting and packing, that is equivalent to 3 tonnes per week. We could therefore save on 2 employees, which is savings of approximately £640 per week, which totals to £33,000 per year. However, a good picker who would pick 100 kilos an hour, which would be 4 tonnes per week, would save around £1,000 per week or £50,000 per year by reducing your employees by 3. However, this reduction in staff does come with other problems. Staff may be unwilling to work the machines, they may actually damage the machines, they may refuse to sort out minor problems, they may maintain low picking rates on the machines. Good pickers may come under pressure to reduce their picking rates from other members of staff. It could even result in a strike or a go slow. In order to counteract this, management needs to assess the maximum output of a machine, know their exact costs, know the exact picking rates of all their staff, provide imaginative incentive package to good workers, be firm in their response to implementation, bring the staff along with them by explaining the benefits, committing to follow through on implementation, training staff in how to use the machines correctly, and also explaining the business results of having excessive costs. The main advantage of a MushroomPro is increased picking speeds because we're using both hands instead of one. We have improved sorting ability. Our machine trimming of the stalks will add approximately 10% to the weight. We have less handling of mushrooms, which increases quality. We have improved weighing accuracy, enhanced operator comfort. We have the facility to implement better picking strategies using grazing techniques, better disease control by eliminating third flush picking, overall reductions in costs. We will have no need for expensive lifts on Dutch shelving, and we can use variable punnet sizes. A typical mushroom house will have level floors and Dutch shelving. In one house we would expect 12 pickers, 2 runners and washers, and 1 additional member of staff. The cost of that would equate to around $250,000 per year. With machines in operation, we would suggest 4 machines with 6 members of staff, the cost being approximately $100,000. We would envisage that all 6 individuals would be pickers and would continuously be rotated in tasks. Also, that each individual would be paid as part of a team rather than individually. The savings with 4 machines in operations and using 1 shift, we would expect to be in the regions of $150,000 per annum. That is 15 workers reduced to 6 workers. The calculated payback on the machines would be approximately 1.4 years. However, with 4 machines in operation and running 2 shifts, the savings would be calculated at approximately $300,000 per annum. That is 30 workers reduced to 12 workers. That would bring the payback back down to 0.8 years. Other savings could be gained due to the MushroomPro's unique stalk trimming technology. This increases the weight of the mushrooms by approximately 10%. Assuming 75 kilos per hour being picked, the increased revenue per week per machine would be £600 per week, which equates to $31,000 per annum. However, working on 2 shifts, we would expect that to be $1,200 per week, or $62,000 per annum. With an above average picker picking at 100 kilos per hour, the increase in revenue would be around £800 per week, which is $41,000 per year, or working on 2 shifts would be $1,600 per week, or £83,000 per year. That is assuming that the mushrooms sold are at £2 per kilo. How this is achieved is by eliminating short cutting of stalks and stalks being cut at an angle. We can also improve the presentation and the weight of the mushrooms. This unique stalk trimming technology would actually pay for each machine, even if increases in picking rates are totally neglected. There are other advantages. We believe you would have a better ability to implement picking strategies using grazing techniques. We know that a mushroom grows by 0.5 millimetre per hour, and that 800 pounds of mushrooms are produced from a tonne of phase 3 compost. We know that picking 50 millimetre mushrooms is a lot easier than 30 millimetre mushrooms, and they have a greater weight. We also know at the end of the day, pickers pick smaller mushrooms in order to ensure that mushrooms grow correctly while not being attended. The savings can be achieved by reducing the picking cycle by approximately 10 days. A typical mushroom cycle is approximately 56 days. First flush would be 7 days, second flush 7 days, third flush 14 days. 1 day of cleaning, 1 day of filling, 13 days of airing, and 13 days to grow. That is 56 days. If, however, we can harvest the mushrooms without a third flush by continuously picking over 2 or 3 shifts, we can reduce the cycle by approximately 14 days, allowing approximately 1.5 extra crops per house. We do know that the cost of your compost has to be taken into effect, but we would expect better quality, better quantity, less cost, less handling, and more revenue. If you would require more information, including updates, sample videos, technical specifications, investment advice, and contact details, visit www.mushroompro.co.uk. The MushroomPro is the next revolution in mushroom harvesting.